I do not think PT was ever going to be a game. Like, ever. Yes, I know, the thought of that brings tears to your eyes. But truly, I don't think Silent Hills PT was ever going to be a game. I think it was something much more elaborate, and I think what it was supposed to do, it did very well. And today, I'm here to talk about it, so...
Don't touch that dial now, we're just getting started.
Sometime in October 2015, Mr. Kojima left Konami, or got fired. We don't exactly know. But I'm pretty confident that PT has a lot to do with this part in Kojima's life after he left Konami. Now, the first parallel we can see, the most obvious one takes place at the very end of the game. And it happens when you beat the game, and when it shows that teaser trailer for Silent Hill. And it's this line right here.
Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway. But guess what? I will be coming back. And I'm bringing my new toys with me.
Now, not only do these lines give us insight on PT's story internally with the game's themes, but if you listen closely to this exact part, it makes sense with some stuff with Kojima.
But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway.
Okay, now let's talk about what I personally think that these lines mean. I honestly kind of think this one speaks for itself, but then one day he goes and kills us all. I'm assuming that's Kojima talking about killing the relationship between Kojima and Konami. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm assuming that's just the generic way of telling someone that you're firing them without saying that you're going to fire them. I'm pretty sure that's most likely what happened over at Konami. I'm not complaining, I was dying of boredom anyway. He didn't like what he was doing at Konami, and probably gave him some pretty harsh limits, especially on MGS5.
But guess what? I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
After he left Konami in October of 2015, he didn't wait that long to start making games again. In December of 2015, he started his own company, Kojima Productions. Bringing his new toys with him can be a couple of things. It could be the Decima engine that he was gifted by the Horizon Zero Dawn company, I'm forgetting their name, forgive me. Or it could mean that the people that left Konami to work at Kojima Productions. At E3 2016, Kojima announced that, well...
Hello everyone. I'm back.
Okay, now let's talk about what I think some of the characters mean and what they are in Hideo Kojima's life. First of all, with Lisa's husband. I think Lisa's husband is Konami. They are the ones who killed Lisa, which I associate Lisa with Hideo Kojima, Fox Engine, which was being made for Kojima to make Metal Gear Solid 5, and for his peers to make other Metal Gear Solid games. And lastly, just plain and simply, Konami and Kojima's relationship. And the baby I associate with Metal Gear Solid. The full franchise, every game that Hideo Kojima made, that was his baby, that was his child. Or it could also be the Fox Engine, which he made for Metal Gear Solid purposes, right? Yes, the bag is technically a character because it talks. Now, this character will be the most interesting to explain because it is actually fucking insane. So, first of all, let's talk about what's in the bag. It's a cock. And I'm not talking about that cock. First of all, you might be asking the question, how in the hell do we know this? It's kind of speculation, but it checks out, and I'm about to show you the clip. To get this bag to spawn, you have to first die. And when you die, this happens. Yep. Sounds like a hot dog to me. I can't complain. I don't know about that, but I can't say it's not. Also, there's this really funny clip of somebody trying to explain what they think it is, but they're kind of tiptoeing around it like they don't want to say that, and it's just really funny.
It's possible these events are connected, and whatever is inside the helpful bag was taken out of the player character, like his spleen or his stomach.
Okay, finally, after explaining all of that, I can finally tell you what I associate the bag with, and I associate it with Kojima's dignity. Like it's being ripped away from him, like the cock. Okay, I called a bag a video game character. I have the right to call a radio a video game character too. I associate the radio with multiple voices, so it's like a multi-character, like a character with multi-personality disorder. I just associate the stuff on the radio being talked about with the murders and stuff. Could be everything collapsing around Kojima near the end of his time at Konami. It could just also be personal thoughts and like inner demons or inner monologue voice or something along those lines. There's one more thing I want to talk about, and it's about the baby in the sink and what it says and what it means for Kojima.
You got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. She had to get a part-time job working a grocery store cash register. Only reason she could earn a wage at all is the manager liked how she looked in a skirt. You remember, right? Exactly 10 months back.
Okay, now this part was actually found by another YouTuber that I will credit when I show you the clips and all that stuff, but it's a very interesting, so I wanted to talk about it here. But 10 months before PT came out, Kojima was demoted because of a man who made a mobile game that made a lot of money. Now, it made a lot of money, and Kojima was spending a lot of money on Metal Gear Solid 5, as I know of, and they just weren't liking it. They were like, well, if we can make a mobile game for such low cost, why would we want to make a multi-million-dollar game that's in the hundreds of millions? And just he's wanting more money, and, you know, it takes a lot of money to make that, and it's going to make money. But there's this mobile game that makes just as much money that costed barely anything to make. And that same guy ended up taking Kojima's place in the company.
Hideki Hayakawa was promoted to senior corporate officer the same day Kojima got demoted. We can guess why Konami did this. But the thing that makes this strange is the timing. PT was released on August 12th, 2014, and Kojima was demoted and his contract potentially renegotiated in October 2013. That means Kojima was demoted 10 months before PT's release.
You got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. She had to get a part-time job working a grocery store cash register. Only reason she could earn a wage at all is the manager liked how she looked in a skirt. You remember, right? Exactly 10 months